This is AQUASNAPPY, the Canon AS-6. It tells you loudly that it's Canon, it tells you quietly that it's the AS-6. And it's a camera I bought only because of aesthetic purposes. I don't really feel much of a need to be able to take film photos underwater in the year 2023. But I do feel the need to get a camera that looks this cool and has this many ridiculous accessories. There are plenty of shots I've taken with this. Most of them came out a little silly because I did some pretty goofy things jumping through the water, just trying to take pictures. Half the reason I'm doing film photography is either for the look or for the experience of shooting with the camera. And the experience of shooting with this is very, very satisfying and simple. The results are only okay. You've seen them by now. They're pictures. I'm not certain that they're better than the disposable Fuji versions of the underwater cameras that you can get at any sort of convenience store. But I do think this is much more fun to use. The camera is fully waterproof and it does float, which makes someone who really can't swim like me feel a lot better when they're using it. It features a single shutter button, a shutter lock system, a flash or no flash button, and that's all the buttons. It's a fixed focus camera, so you can't change anything there. And it has a maximum shutter speed that's quite disappointing, so it has a hard time in bright situations, but it's supposed to be used underwater. And if you're going to use a camera underwater, there might be some accessories that you could use to improve your experience. Firstly, we have this cover thing that's really more of a mount system that lets you attach other accessories. It straps over the top, goes in and it clicks in, and now it also looks cooler and has a cold shoe top attachment for when you might need to be able to see when you actually can't see through the viewfinder. See, the camera's a little farther away from you. You can look at it like this and aim it that way, and supposedly it's right. It's tilted a little bit down to compensate for where the viewfinder actually is, and it also makes the camera look cooler. All these things do make the camera look cooler, such as the James Bond movie scuba mode two-handle device, which you attach again to that cold shoe here and then secure on the bottom with a twisty. Now you can go through the ocean holding it like this, looking cool. I don't know how you get to the shutter, but it works that way. Well, let's say you want to remove that. It is a kind of a drawback here, is you kind of push underneath the thing and remove, and I've gotten really good at this, but it's a little bit annoying at first. And then what if you want to use film, but you're stuck in the middle of the ocean? You can't see land for miles. For some reason you've brought film canisters with you. Well, this attaches to this strap, and it actually genuinely safely protects 2 rolls of 35mm film, which is fairly impressive. Another one is the close-up focus attachment, which lets you attach it to the camera for close-up focus. But now you might have a problem because, again, it's a fixed focus camera. So if you're underwater, maybe you actually don't know how far you are. It's 3 feet on land and 5 feet underwater, or 5 feet on land and 3 feet underwater. It's one of those 2 points, generally speaking, is where the sharp focus is. So how do you know that underwater? Well, Canon came up with a solution for you. You can find this attachment. It screws into the bottom on the corner 20 thread, along with 2 locking pins to make sure you got it lined up. And then you unscrew this piece, and you attach it to the front of this piece, and you can see this is quite ridiculous and looks so strange. This looks ridiculous. This is a very strange thing, but it was used to test how far to be in focus. You could use this to touch what you were trying to keep in focus, and that's how you knew that you were the right distance. This was what the device was genuinely used for. Wild to think about for that. All these accessories are what makes this camera so fun. They're all unique, weird, kind of usable, and they look just something out of a weird movie. This camera should be featured in some sort of retro movie at the beach. I don't think people ever actually use this thing. I can't imagine it was all that popular, but it looks super cool and it looks super retro, so that's exactly why I bought it. It's okay to get film cameras for a certain professional look and notoriety. It's also okay to pick up $60 cameras off Etsy just to have fun with them and make videos about them. I have found that it takes a couple more than 36 pictures per roll. I'm not really sure why that is. Maybe the pre-roll on the film just isn't being pulled as much because it is accurate and pulls it on. You hear it when you hear it. It's a fairly satisfying shutter sound. That's just, it feels so mechanical that it's moving the exact right amount of film, and there's nothing you have to burn to get the roll to be in the spool. But whatever it's doing, the 39 was a consistent number I got from both rolls. It has used AAA batteries to power the flash and the motor inside. It comes with a water seal that you can replace and dry. And it is truly waterproof. I've not been worried about this. I wouldn't exactly load a new roll of film on the beach because that sounds like a good way to get sand in the camera, which it's not inside sandproof, it's just outside sandproof. Where would you bring this? To the beach is a good start. When you feel like dunking it in a pool, this is pretty much your only option. But the images aren't that much better than, say, the Fuji disposables that you can get at any convenience store. I just think this one looks a lot cooler. And it's, you know, more sustainable because you're just buying film, not a new camera each time. I mean, that's what I told myself when I justified this purchase. So should you get an AQUASNAPPY? This isn't that video. I just figured this was a cool looking camera that many people had hopefully not seen before, because look at it. It's absolutely the star of the show. It just, they don't make them like this anymore. I do wonder if they knew it. Like if they knew this was ridiculous at the time, or if they just thought, this is a super cool idea. People are going to use this when they go on vacation. They're just going to have film strapped to them. They're going to buy spares of these. It's going to look like one of those, you know, artillery vest things where you have the big bullets in an Expendables 7 movie. But no, it's just something that they thought should come with the camera.